been listening to this speech. So then the previous speaker. So because our development is a compiler, and so we use specialized language to write the architecture specifics, so to automatically generate compiler. Just similar technology. It's very interesting, and we are. So that's so. But I'm going to speak about something else. My talk about the operating systems, a real-time operating system for embedded. So Russian. When they say Russian operating system, Russian OS, so people are getting skeptical because very often Russian operating systems they're not Russian. So because some say they take Linux, some take, and so they said so looks like Russian, but not really Russian. But like those systems, so system is entirely Russian from A to Z. So we started from scratch 2 years ago, now, and so in spite of this short period of time, so we have a Russian OS operating system. That is, and we got good results. So we have some people in the conference room, potential customers, because they have already seen this system in operation. Okay. So then, so I want to provoke you a little bit. After that, there's no need to talk about anything else. When the developers start to develop any complicated system, so eventually they face the situation whereby, so usually it's not we spend a lot of effort to address the operating task, but we create services. So that's it. So what we need is to remove that from our effort, and so not just no. So we need just to avoid creating services, but create a good product. So why do you need to develop it if you can take it out of the box? And that is why. So that's why we give the weight to operating system, and we start addressing the specific issue. Structure becomes more simplified, easier to follow up, and then so as a side effect, so reliability increases as well. So because the OS is tested much better than specific solution, and so then the service things so that are done specifically independently at the early stage, so that tested much more rigorously. Where were we when we started? So there's a UBM company, and then every year, so it provides analytics about the condition of this industry in the world. And according to 70% of solutions are implemented with the help of OS or something similar to OS. And in the market, there's certainly two products, free RTOS and Micro, so they are the market leaders. And if you look at this chart, then yes, then the interest to OS is increasing all the time, and eventually it may stop. And so then if you look at it, so if you scrutinize, then you can see that there are lots of different products that exist in the market right now. So then, so we don't have to read them. So there are many, but and as you can see, lots of other solutions. But what's interesting, there are no Russian solutions here. And so when we saw the situation, we decided to design our own product. So for example, so lots of products in the in the United markets, but in avionics, they're not using, and they're using the local Green Hill software company. They're using.
Hoping there are no undeclared capacities. So or features. So in this situation, we started developing our product, and that's what we are happy to share today. And definitely when you develop an OS, why should you repeat something that exists? So along with other real-time operating system, we have something new. That is interaction of devices. So we have out-of-the-box capacity for interaction of devices. And I believe you all know the components of operating systems. I will not list them, but things that we give on top of the existing is scalability, efficiency, and reliability. Seems to be very popular words, but they really mean special software capacities. We demonstrate things that look like magic. The way devices interact, you can reshuffle them, turn on and off, and it works well. So I think I have 5 minutes, but it's I have 5 minutes left, and I speak about Internet of Things. So our OS definitely is best for this industry. And today we heard SOC. So what's that? This is a microcomputer, a very simple one, and the system on a chip. You've got everything there. And if you look at the chip systems, here we have several cases, arbitrary cases, and they use this Cortex M3, M4 architecture. We started our system supporting them. And this is an infrastructure description for the Internet of Things, and the fragments we highlighted where our OS can be used, some end solutions, Internet brokers. Why? Our operating system is so good there. Because, and because, and because. As time is running out, I think you can see for yourself. And shared memory, for instance, is an opportunity to interact for many devices that I wanted to describe, but then we can discuss it later. So why our system? What is it going to give you? Quickly develop new devices, as I told you, without distracting for developing some services. You cut the cycle, you cut the costs. What do we support? The hardware. Russian-made hardware, and that we are unique in that. Some Western company are not interested in Russian hardware. We do support Russian hardware, as well as popular global hardware. The popular development environments like ARM and IR. We are going to support Eclipse very soon, and the key properties of the system. So you can see from the screen processors M3, M4, and M0, M1, and I heard M23 and M33 is going to be replacing the existing ones, and we shall support them. So comparative properties. I shall not talk about the industry leader. We don't have this restricting information in our licensing software. We are not much behind the leader, and we are going to erase it, to bridge that gap. And so far, we have a very good results. So, and the last slide about what I told you and something about it, our main features. So we are a Russian system indeed, and useful things like strange feature like Russian comments in the codes may look funny, but it's very convenient. Small core, only 12 kilobyte, and so now we are certifying the stack. So it's a long and expensive process, but we started, and in 2017 we shall have this certification. So round of applause. Thank you very much. One question we can allow. Probably I just didn't listen carefully. It means you support Java as well. How come? How can you support Eclipse without supporting Java? IDE plus GCC. So it means that C++ supported. Virtual, no. No virtual environment. Maybe I didn't understand the question, but the programming language is C++ for our system. I mean, virtual Java machine cannot. No, it's no. So it is impossible or difficult? No. Thank you. So we are using up our coffee break. So what's the license? So the operation is chargeable, and if you represent a company that can collaborate with us, we can provide special terms, conditions to work on it.